You spit. The spit doesn't fall. It freezes in the air, makes a dry sound when it hits the snow. Crystal, 60 degrees below zero. Eastern Siberia, Yakutia. Today, Svetlana Ivanova is 89 years old. Widow for 17 years. Living alone for 15. The nearest village is 32 kilometers away. Winter lasts 8 months. Average temperature, 50 degrees below zero. Inside the cabin, Svetlana wakes up. 4 in the morning. Still dark. Dark until 10. First thing, check the water bucket. Empty. Not empty of water. Empty of ice. Used it all yesterday. For drinking, cooking, washing the cut on her finger. Svetlana knows. Without water, 3 days. Maybe 4 at her age. Slow metabolism, but no more than 4. She needs to get more. From the river. 300 meters from here. 300 meters sounds like nothing. In the city, 3 minutes. Here, at 60 degrees below zero, 89 years old, carrying 20 kilos of ice, it's an expedition. She starts getting dressed. Not getting dressed, building armor. First layer, wool, shirt, pants, socks. All sheep wool she sheared herself 6 months ago. Second layer, reindeer hide. Coat, pants, sewn with sinew. Every stitch made by hand. Windproof. Third layer, bear hide. Enormous overcoat. Belonged to her husband. Weighs 8 kilos. She weighs 42. Almost 20% of body weight just in clothing. Boots, 3 layers. Inner felt. Middle reindeer. Outer sealskin. Tied with leather strips. If the strips freeze and snap, the boot opens. Foot freezes in 4 minutes. Toes black in 8. Amputation or death. She ties each strip 3 times. Checks each knot. Pulls to test. No mistakes allowed. Mittens, not gloves. Fingers together. Share warmth. Made from wolf fur. Warmest fur that exists. Her husband killed that wolf 43 years ago. The mittens are still perfect. Face mask. Rabbit fur. Covers everything except eyes. Eyes can't be covered. Need to see. But exposed eyes mean pain. Constant burning pain. Like staring into fire. That's what 60 below feels like on exposed eyeballs. She wraps a scarf over the mask. Leaves just a slit. Can barely see, but can't freeze. Total time getting dressed, 22 minutes. In the city, getting dressed, 2 minutes. Here, getting dressed wrong means dying. So 22 minutes is fast. She picks up the axe, 1 meter long, 4 kilos. The blade is dull, been dull for 3 years. The sharpening stone broke. New one costs money she doesn't have. So she uses a dull axe. Takes 3 times longer to break ice, but it still works. She picks up 2 buckets, metal. Each holds 10 liters. When full of ice, 10 kilos each. 20 kilos total. She weighs 42, carrying half her body weight. At 89, in 60 below. Opens the door. The cold hits like a wall. Not like wind, like a physical object. Slams into her face. The air inside her mask freezes instantly. Her first breath out. Ice crystals on the rabbit fur. Her first breath in. Knives in the lungs. This is normal. She steps outside. Closes the door. Every second the door is open, the cabin loses heat. Takes 3 hours to warm up again. 3 hours burning firewood she spent 2 weeks cutting. So the door stays open exactly 4 seconds. Outside, complete darkness. Not nighttime darkness. Arctic winter darkness. The kind where you can't see your hand in front of your face. The kind where the world doesn't exist beyond 5 meters. She has a flashlight. Soviet era. 40 years old. Batteries last 2 hours in warm weather, 20 minutes in this cold. So she doesn't turn it on. Not yet. Saves it for the way back. Harder to navigate carrying weight. She knows the path. Walked it 4,000 times, twice a week for 15 years. Knows every rock, every dip, every tree. She walks, 20 steps, stops, breathes. Breathing wrong means inhaling too much cold air. Lungs can freeze from the inside, literally freeze. Ice crystals forming in lung tissue. Painful, often fatal. So she breathes shallow. Through the mask, the fur warms the air slightly. Slightly is the difference between life and death. 40 more steps. Stops again. Heart beating hard. 89 years old, carrying gear in extreme cold. Heart works triple. She hears her heartbeat, loud. The silence out here makes everything loud. No cars, no planes, no people, just wind and her heart and the crunch of snow under boots. Each step sounds like breaking bones. 100 meters done, 200 to go. Halfway, she stops longer. 1 minute, flexes her toes inside the boots. If toes go numb, that's stage 1 frostbite. Stage 2, toes turn white. Stage 3, toes turn black. She's seen it. Her husband lost 3 toes 52 years ago. Took 15 minutes of exposure. He lived, barely. She flexes, feels pain. Good, pain means alive. Pain means blood flowing. She continues. 200 meters. She hears the river, not flowing, frozen solid. But the ice makes sounds. Cracking, shifting, expanding, contracting. The ice is 1 meter thick. Sounds like thunder underground. She arrives at the riverbank. Turns on the flashlight. 20 minutes of battery. Needs to work fast. The beam hits the ice, white, blue, crystal clear in some spots. She needs the clear spots. Clear means solid. White means air pockets. Air pockets mean the ice can break. She weighs 42 kilos, but falling through ice at 60 below means death in 90 seconds. Water is 0 degrees. Air is 60 below. The difference shocks the body. Heart stops. Instant. She finds a clear spot. Tests it with the axe handle. Taps. Listens. Solid sound. Good. Raises the axe. First swing. The impact shoots pain up her arms. 89 years old. Arthritis in both wrists. Every swing is agony. But she needs water. So she swings. Hit. A chip of ice flies off. Size of her thumb. She needs to break through 1 meter of ice, 1 cubic meter, to get 20 kilos of ice chunks. At this rate, 200 swings, maybe 300 with the dull blade. She swings, again, 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 10 swings. Her arms burn. She stops, breathes, can't breathe too hard, can't rest too long. The flashlight is burning battery, and standing still at 60 below means body temperature drops. Drops fast. She swings. 20, 30, 40. Sweat forms under all the layers. Sweat is death. Sweat makes clothes wet. Wet clothes lose insulation. Lose insulation, lose heat. Lose heat, freeze. So she can't swing too hard, can't sweat, but needs to work fast. Before the flashlight dies, before her body gives up. It's a balance, speed versus survival. 50 swings. The hole is 10 centimeters deep, 90 more centimeters to go. She keeps going. 60, 70. Her breathing is loud. Her arms shake, but she doesn't stop. 100 swings. Halfway. The hole is half a meter deep. She can see darker ice now, closer to the water below. Not liquid water, slush. Frozen but not solid. That layer is the goal. 150 swings. Her right arm goes numb. Not cold numb. Exhaustion numb. She switches hands. Left arm, weaker, slower. But it works. 200 swings. The axe breaks through, hits slush. Dark, wet, perfect. She drops the axe, picks up the first bucket, scoops. The slush is heavy. Heavier than snow. Denser. More water content. 1 bucket, 10 kilos. She fills it. Her arms scream. Second bucket. Fills it. Both full. She's been here 11 minutes. Flashlight has 9 minutes left. Picks up both buckets. 20 kilos. Plus 8 kilos of clothing. Plus the axe in her belt. 32 kilos total. She weighs 42. Carrying 76% of her body weight. She starts walking back. First 10 steps. Manageable. Next 10. Arms burning. Next 10. She stops. Puts the buckets down. Flexes her fingers. Picks them up. Continues. The buckets pull her forward. Off balance. She leans back to compensate. Her back hurts. Old fracture. From falling 4 years ago. Never healed right. No doctor. No hospital. Just pain. She walks. 20 steps. Rest. 20 steps. Rest. The flashlight flickers. Battery dying. She walks faster. Can't afford to be in darkness carrying weight. Too easy to trip. Fall. Spill the water. Have to go back. Do it all again. 50 meters from the cabin. The flashlight dies. Complete darkness. She stops. Puts down the buckets. Waits. Lets her eyes adjust. They don't. There's no light to adjust to. But she knows the path. She's walked it in darkness before. Picks up the buckets. Walks. Slow. Careful. 1 foot in front of the other. Testing each step before putting weight down. She hears the cabin before she sees it. The wood creaking in the cold. The chimney ticking as metal contracts. 20 more steps. Her boot hits the door. Made it. Opens the door. 4 seconds. Gets inside. Closes it. Puts down the buckets. Takes off the mittens. Her hands are white. Bloodless. She puts them under her armpits. Warms them. Slowly. Too fast, and the pain is unbearable. The blood returning to frozen fingers feels like being stabbed with hot needles. She waits. 5 minutes. The pain comes. She grits her teeth. Doesn't scream. Screaming wastes energy. The pain fades. Her hands are red now. Alive. She takes off the layers. Bear coat. Reindeer coat. Wool shirt. Hangs everything to dry. Even in this cold, her body produced moisture. It needs to evaporate. The buckets sit by the stove. The ice will melt slowly. Takes 6 hours. 6 hours for 20 litres of water. 20 litres last 4 days. Then she'll do it again. She sits. 89 years old. Just carried 42 kilos, 600 metres round trip. In 60 degrees below zero. In darkness. With a dull axe. In the city, people turn on a tap. Water comes out. Hot or cold. Unlimited. They don't think about it. Svetlana just spent 1 hour and 40 minutes getting water. She'll do it again in 4 days. Has done it 195 times in the last 15 years. Will do it until she physically can't. Then she'll die. Not from cold, from dehydration. But not today. Today she has water. Today she survives. This is life at 60 below. Not adventure, not extreme challenge, just life. Getting water. Every 4 days. For 15 years. Alone. Svetlana doesn't think she's tough. Doesn't think she's special. This is just what you do. What her mother did. What her grandmother did. What people have done here for thousands of years. You need water. So you get water. The temperature doesn't matter. Your age doesn't matter. The distance doesn't matter. You do what needs to be done, or you die. Our ancestors weren't superhuman. They just didn't have the option to quit. And some of them are still here, still doing it, still surviving. At 89, at 60 below, every 4 days, getting water,